up? Welcome back to the channel Elevate Your Energy. It's Jazzy, your favorite Cali reader and spiritual consult. So today's reading is just going to be a quick little daily message, just kind of like in the moment message that I was guided to do as I'm out here at the park. Um, with all the, from what I understand, there's about 6 planets at least that are all in Aries right now, and I would highly recommend doing your research to see how that may be affecting you in real time, right? Based on your birth chart. If you, for those who are aware and adept enough to like also include your human design chart in that as well, to like see how you can utilize this energy, this frequency at this time to your best and highest and greatest good, I would highly recommend it. So we're going to just jump in really quick to see basically kind of what spirit wants to bring our attention to as far as all this energy goes. It is a lot. I have not stopped doing the other signs readings from what's already been posted. But however, I do need to be mindful of my own energy as well, and to ensure that I'm, in alignment with spirit when to, record when I'm guided versus, a 3D schedule that isn't in alignment. So all right, so let's see, spirit for the collective. What does the collective need to be mindful of during this time? What are you bringing our attention to? Spirit for the Most High. I think it is good. Ooh, Yang energy. So card number one, and this makes sense because Aries energy in itself is the Emperor in the tarot, which is masculine, and also it's the first zodiac sign in this deck. Particular card number one. Okay, so it makes sense. So spirit is really highlighting at this time for us collective, especially for those of you like myself who have Aries as your north node. It's time. It's fucking time. If you, like, for those of you who have may have been like, sleeping on yourself, slacking on your purpose, really not in alignment, really not kind of like, locked in, this is the time to fucking lock in. It's like you're kind of being forced to lock in. Like, I'm even noticing in my own experience things that, like, the way things are happening, I'm just like, holy shit, okay, that makes sense why this happened like that, why I ran out of that when I did, in order to, put me in alignment with habits, right, that I'm breaking away from. It makes sense of why this is happening right before not only this sixth planetary alignment, but also right before the new moon, which is tomorrow on April 17th. So it just really feels like it's being highlighted at this time to really, that it's time to step into your masculine energy. Okay. And obviously from a place of balance, right? Because you do need both. But where those of you have been maybe, let's say, afraid to take action, things that you've been thinking a lot about, now is the time to actually implement them. Now is the time to actually put whatever plan that some of you have been, creating in the background, right? Um, Adjusting plans that you've been adjusting, things like that. Now is the time to really put that plan into practice, really put your plan into play, so to speak. Okay. Now is the time that spirit is really indicating that this is time to really step into your authority. Okay. Because Aries energy is boss energy, it's authority energy, it's sovereign, being the boss of your own life, right? So those are you. So for those of you where this applies, right, especially those of you who have heavy Aries placements, okay, this is really a prominent time to really, for those of you, obviously where it applies, okay, so this is a general message. Please don't, force the message to fit if it's not yours. But this is a strong indication for those of you who are business owners or aspiring business owners, okay? It doesn't have to necessarily be entrepreneurship. I'm not sure how that, I don't want to dive deeper into that right now, but if you know, you know, okay? Do your homework, do your own research, okay? But business owners, entrepreneurs, okay, people who run your own business, who work for yourself, self-employed individuals, all right, because there are slight variations and differences with these terms. So, and the English language is distorted on its own. That's why I'm not trying to dive deeper into this. So into, I mean, like into the technicalities of the words is what I mean. So, but like I said, this Aries energy is all about authority. Okay, it's about really stepping into the boss of your own life, to really getting in that driver's seat, putting your ego in the back, meaning the part of you that is scared, okay, that is fearful of failure, but also fearful of success, right? What if, I fail? What if I completely fall on my face? What if it doesn't work? Simultaneously as well, what if it takes off and I can't handle it? What if I start growing and it's too much? What if I get to a certain point and then I plateau and or I just completely fall off, right? There's a bunch of what ifs that are happening right now, but Spirit is really asking you to um not focus so much on what hasn't even happened yet. Okay, sometimes we get so wrapped up in how we want things to go, right, which is also an egoic type of behavior. Okay, we get so wrapped up in what we think we should do, how we think things should turn out, what how we think, what the time frame, the timeline of when this should happen and who's involved and all these little details that we really don't need to be concerned about, right? That does more harm than good essentially in this situation. So whatever it is that you've been thinking about, Spirit is really asking you to come to the edge, to really take that risk, to really trust yourself enough to know that what's on the other side of whatever feels like a risk or feels like something you're really afraid to do, Spirit is really asking you to trust that you will be caught. The Spirit will catch you, that there will be a soft landing, or at least a landing that you can handle. Okay. um it's literally being open to receive. Okay, this is the feminine energy, literally the yin to the yang of the deck. Okay, with the here and now, present, moment energy, milk and honey underneath that. It's like this is so, it's such beautiful energy that's on the other side of whatever this risk is that some of you are afraid to take. But Spirit is saying now is the time. Okay, if you have been, for those of you who've been procrastinating, putting it off, really focused on, I gotta wait for the right time, I'm waiting on timing, I'm waiting for the sign, I'm waiting for whatever it is you're waiting for, Spirit is saying now's the time. Okay, whatever you've been thinking about, now's the time to really, think about what you're guided to do next, what that next step is, asking for the clarity and allowing yourself to receive what you get from that. Okay, but it's not going to come if we don't ask the question, if we're not specific in our request. What exactly are you seeking clarity about, right? What exactly are you seeking a solution for or in regards to, right? What type of mindset shift maybe can you use right now, right? This is the time to really get specific on whatever it is that you've been thinking a lot about or what won't leave you alone. For some of you, you're kind of maybe confused about what we're talking about here. So Spirit is saying for some of you, this is how you're going to know. Something that has been on your mind that you can't seem to let go of, that you can't seem to shake, that you can't seem to get off your fucking heart. It won't stop. It won't leave you alone. It's bugging the fuck out of you. That's how you know. That is, where it's not like a fearful thing where you're not scared of it in a sense of danger, but you're scared of it because it's new, it's different, it's unknown, right? You really, because it's something you haven't yet lived. For some of you, have not yet experienced from this current version that you're embodying. That's where the fear is coming from. It's not a fear of because you don't know if you'll survive it, right? It's more so a fear of I don't. It's just new to me. I don't know what to expect. It can go either way. It could go perfectly well or really sideways, right? And so Spirit is really asking you to trust that whatever is on the other side, whatever this is that you're thinking about doing that has been heavy on your mind, Spirit is saying come to the edge. Okay, because from that place is going to show you not only that you're capable, right, that you're strong enough, it's going to help you build your confidence, but you'll also, I feel like for some of you will see that what you've been asking for is positioning you to be ready to receive it. Okay, but if you're not allowing yourself to even get to the point, right, if you're not allowing yourself to, say for example, walk to up to the door, how are you else are you going to expect to open the door to receive what's behind it? You see what I'm saying? So some of you are really being asked to take those small steps. They may seem small in the 3D sense, right, to our ego maybe, but in energetically speaking, okay, in the unseen realm, it's huge. It's huge. And you know this based on how you feel. When you feel that sense of relief, like holy fuck, I did it, I did the first step, I took the first step on this thing that I've been, that seems logically so easy, but in a nervous system, from a nervous system standpoint, it's like jumping through a hoop. You know what I'm saying? It's big, right? So Spirit is reminding you, don't downplay your efforts. Okay, even if it, don't compare yourself to other people as well, because that's going to kill the, especially those of you like myself at times who've been struggling with, you know clarity, focusing on your direction when you're not motivated, right? Because motivation is fleeting, it doesn't stay, you can't rely on that, right? It's not sustainable. That's where your discipline comes in, right? Where that kicks in when the motivation fails, okay, or when the motivation runs out. Your discipline, that's connected to your why, right, is what's going to carry you forward. Okay, and this is what you're really being asked to now really step into in a real fucking way. Okay, so let's dive into some tarot and see what else comes through with this energy. All right, let's see. Spirit, for the collective, what is going on? What do we need to be made aware of? What's going on with this yang energy? What is this about, Spirit? So, like I said, heavy Aries energy already, okay? If you are an Aries, or like I said, Aries, heavy Aries placements, okay, this is the time, all right? So we have the Hermit. It did fall on the floor, but it did fall in reverse, okay? The Hermit is Virgo energy, all right? So for those of you who have been maybe really in hiding, so to speak, in isolation, some of you, those can be used simultaneously, like hand in hand with each other, in tandem with each other, because some of you, I feel like you're not doing it on purpose, right? You're in isolation, but you're not hiding. You're just like, I'm recharging. I'm not hiding from no fucking body. I'm just recharging my batteries because that's what I need right now, right? While others of you, on the other hand, maybe actually, afraid to be seen, afraid to put yourself out there, dealing with imposter syndrome, things like that. Okay. And this is where Spirit is really asking you, like I said, apply it as it fits, but this is where Spirit is really asking you to push past, those barriers, push past those obstacles of feeling like I can't do this, or I'm not good enough, or I don't know enough, I'm not ready, I'm not capable, I'm going to be judged harshly, whatever the fear may be. It could be all of those things, right? But you're really being asked to push beyond that. Now's the time to pop the fuck out. Okay. Some of you have been in isolation for long enough. Okay. And you're not going to always feel at 100%. This is something I literally had to remind my dad, from the recovery facility that he's currently in. It's just reminding him, like, look, I know you're not where you want to be. However, decisions you've made, as well as the lack thereof, right, have got us here. But here we are. Now, what do we do from here, right? You have what it takes. You have what you need. It's just a matter of applying yourself, right? How bad do you want it? How bad do you want to live? How bad do you want your independence? You see what I'm saying? So this applies in the same type of sense, okay? Where Spirit is asking you, how bad do you want it, right? You're not going to always feel at 100%, meaning you're not going to always feel completely motivated. You're not going to always have maybe the energy or the level that you feel like you want or that is required to do something, but that's not true, okay? That's sometimes the ego's tricky ass ways, okay, of slowing us down, okay, or making us rethink what we know we should be doing out of fear of change, out of fear of the unknown, okay, out of fear of rejection, or whatever. All the list goes on and fucking on, okay, it goes on and on and on. So, like I said, you need to apply that as you see fit, okay. So let's see, Spirit, what else? And we do have the Chariot at the bottom. See, this is the card I thought initially came out, but it wasn't. It was the Hermit in reverse, but the Chariot is at the bottom. So this is Cancer energy. Okay, so we have Virgo, Cancer. Those can be signs of significance to you at this time. But Chariot is about oh shit, and the Moon underneath that, both Cancer cards right underneath each other. Okay, so heavy on the Cancer energy. Some of you, this could be your message. If you're a Cancer watching this, okay, this could definitely be your message. But the Chariot energy is about alignment. Okay, when you're on the same page as your head and heart, as your light and dark, right, your feminine, masculine, when they're on the same page in unison, okay, there's no need to control the situation because they're both on the same frequency. So there's no need to hold the reins, right? When traditional tarot decks depict two horses that have reins, and on some of them the person riding it, right, which is you, right, the collective, the person riding the chariot is has let go of the reins, and that's what that is indicative of, is that when you're in alignment, there's nothing to control, right? There's also, and from that place of alignment, you're also free of resistance. It's like free flowing, right? Just to the wind, off to the races, type of energy. So this is where Spirit is trying to get you, but it requires you to first come out of isolation. Okay, you first need to come out of your cocooning, hermiting energy in order to really step in and take this, action, step into your masculine energy the way you are needing to at this time, to allow yourself to come to the edge, to allow yourself to do what it is that you've been thinking, to allow yourself to not think yourself out of alignment, but also not think yourself out of inspired action. Okay, that's being called of us right now. All right, so let's see, Spirit, what else for the collective? I'm really trying not to be irritated while I'm watching this card just sitting here, like, never mind. Oh, calm down, Nicole. He waits till he gets driving past my car to want to turn on his music. Like, ain't nobody worried about you. Like, oh man, my ego. Be calling people out. It's just so clear. You know what I'm saying? It's so clear to me. It's annoying. It's just like, I'm not impressed. People aren't impressed. Like, keep it pushing. Like, there's nothing here for you at all. All right. Spirit, what else for the collective? Please clear accurate messages. Whoa, whoa, whoa. All right. So we have the Queen of Cups. Okay. So for some of you collective, this is definitely something tied to your creativity. Okay. But this is also about tapping into your heart space to really, you know, love it, about loving on yourself. Okay. This feels like coming out of, isolation in order to really step into what you're guided to create from your heart, what your heart is guiding you to do. Okay. Or what your heart is guiding you in this. And I'm not speaking, when I speak of heart, when I say heart, I'm not talking emotions here. Okay. I'm talking about heart led, heart based. And only until you allow yourself to go that deep can you really truly overstand what that really means. Okay. That's a personal experience for everybody. So I do my best when I say these things to kind of explain it a little bit deeper and what I mean by that. But for some of you, certain things, the explanation only does so much. The rest needs to be experienced firsthand. Okay. And so this really feels like Spirit is asking us to really come out of this, period of rest and recovery. It's like you got all the energy you need. You have all the energy you're going to get right now. So now's the time to, start taking step by step so you don't burn out, right? But now's the time to get going. Okay. So it's like, instead of just getting up and taking off running and sprinting, right? Spirit is saying, okay, now it's time to get up, get your stretches in, start stretching your body, start, move that energy around, and, start picking up that pace, start getting that momentum going, getting ready to start running. You see what I'm saying? It's kind of like just that process of preparation. This is where Spirit is asking us to really dive into right now, to really tap into what feels right, what feels in alignment, tapping into your creativity and really taking action on the things that are coming to you creatively. Okay, creative solutions, it feels like it's also being revealed to you, but it's not going to do anything, right, if you're not acting on them. If the solution comes to you, you're not doing anything with it, it's pointless. Okay, it's literally the same as, dreaming, right? We dream of things, but if you don't act on the dream, it's going to stay a dream. Okay, so Spirit is really asking us to really come out of isolation and really take action where we're being guided to. Okay, without burnout, but from a place of balance and clarity. So let's see. Shameless plug as well, if you would like your own personally extended reading to this message, feel free to reach out for that. As well as any other services that I'm offering, you can find that on my Beacons page, which, the links are in the description. But yeah, flash sale for readings is still going on right now for April. You can find that in the community. I posted that in the community portion of the channel, so you can find that there. Okay, so let's see, anything else, Spirit, for the collective? Anything else that you would like to bring our attention to right before this new moon? All these planets that are in Aries, Spirit. Anything else for the collective, for our highest and greatest good only? Nothing less. Ooh, and the moon came out. After all that shuffling, okay, the moon came out. The moon came out, Cancer energy. So this is about, the moon energy is about what's hidden, okay? What's hidden, what's unknown, what's unseen. It's about, your emotions, your subconscious mind, okay? For some of you, this is about really tapping into, what you've maybe suppressed, maybe ideas that some of you have really pushed down that is needing, that you've been thinking about. But some of you, it's like some of you may be feeling really disconnected from that goal or that idea, that opportunity, that creative thing that you were doing, that you were maybe once working on, or that you've been planning in your mind but haven't really start making strides to complete or accomplish, right? This is really allowing yourself to tap into where subconscious mind is, like what's coming up at this time. Okay, what's being cleared, like what's coming up to be cleared, to be released, right? And limiting beliefs, those things may be very prevalent right now. Okay, maybe coming up at this time for you to let them go. All right. And it feels, like I said, it's tied to your heart space, which makes complete sense, because if your heart is closed off, it blocks off your ability to receive what you're asking for. Okay, it blocks your ability to receive not only love, but all the things that you're asking to receive. That's the chakra that allows you to receive. Okay, is your heart. So when your heart is blocked off, or you're blocking it, right, this is an easy indication of someone who likely has a blocked heart chakra. Okay, your body language says it all. Okay, energetically speaking, that's exactly what it does. It blocks the energy. Okay, not only from what's coming out, but also from receiving. Okay, we already talked about the receiving energy at the bottom of the deck. So this is again about allowing yourself whatever's coming up at this time, that is asking to be cleared, which makes sense again too, because we're still in the waning moon phase. Okay, when we're in the waning moon phase, that is the phase of releasing, of letting go, of clearing out, of purging. Okay, so given this is on a Jupiter day, Jupiter represents is the planet of expansion, growth, abundance, wealth, protection, increase. Okay, a bunch of different things, right? Good luck, good fortune, growth. And that's not always easy. While we all look at, think of Jupiter energy, we automatically think of money and abundance and, more and all that. There's also a flip side to the Jupiter energy, okay, which means there has to be a major clearing in order to receive, right? It's like, how do you expect to get a house full, a brand new house fully furnished, if your current house state is full already? You see what I'm saying? It's not, you can't have both. So some of you, what's really coming up at this time during this, right before this new moon, is, I feel like, a major clearing. Some of you may be really in your thoughts right now, and that's not a mistake. Okay, pay attention to what's heavy on your mind right now. Allow yourself, if it doesn't feel good, if it isn't serving you, if it isn't beneficial, if it's not supportive, okay, to especially where you're heading, right? This is a time to let that shit go, to allow yourself to transmute it. Ask for what you need. Please transmute this energy. Send it back to the core of the planet. Send it back to the core of the planet with love. Okay. Please transmute all these negative energies and thoughts and beliefs that are limiting. Please transmute them into energy that is supportive, that is of growth, that is of benefit to me. Okay, for my highest and greatest good. Right? You have to just be specific, but with conviction. Okay, be confident in what you're asking, what you're requesting from the universe. The universe will bend to your will, right? But we still have to be specific in our requests. Okay, so like I said, this is the things that are coming up right now, they're asking to be cleared. So allow yourself to do your due diligence to clear them, so that way you're then cleared in a sense to receive what it is you're asking for. So, and we also have the strength at the bottom. That's Leo energy. So interesting. Some of you may be Leos. Leo energy may be of significance, but that's also the energy of confidence, okay, of willpower, of action. That's another masculine energy. A lot of masculine energy going on here, to say the least, okay, except for the moon. Moon is feminine energy, and so is the chalices, the Queen of Cups. So that's still giving me balancing vibes. Okay, now is the time to really do your best to stay as balanced as you possibly can through the shifts, through the changes, right? Not allowing any thoughts that are coming up at this time that are asking to be cleared, not letting them latch back onto you and take over. Okay, it's important to not let these thoughts that are not yours, right, or that you can definitely tell that are not beneficial, to run rampant in your mind. Okay, just because they come to you does not make them yours, right? Just like emotions, just because we feel emotions does not make them ours. We claim them. That's the problem, right? That's where a lot of us kind of do it to yourself in a sense, right? Is we claim things that don't belong to us just because we experience them, right? We don't have to do that. You don't have to claim something that doesn't serve you, or that doesn't feel good, or that isn't beneficial, or that isn't in alignment with you. It isn't in alignment with the person you're trying to be, the direction you're trying to go, the goal you're trying to accomplish. If it does not align with those things, okay, it's not yours. And you don't have to claim it unless you choose to, right? But when we choose to, you're also in exchange giving your power in exchange for that, thought or that emotion, whatever. And then when that compiles into multiple emotions, multiple thoughts, you see what I'm saying? And we wonder why we're so drained. Like, speaking to myself as well. Okay. So let's see. Any final messages, Spirit, to wrap this reading for the collective? Any other final messages, guidance, advice for the collective? Support us during this shift right before this new moon. Spirit for the collective. Clear accurate messages only, please. Ooh. I can't even make it up. I can't make it up. Oh man, I'm so fucking excited, y'all. I can't even. Okay, so yeah, some of y'all, it makes sense. Spirit is saying take action where you're guided. Some of you, like I said, there's a promotion coming in that you're being asked, that maybe you've been kind of like in your mind, like, I don't know if I should do it, blah, blah, I don't know if I'm ready, yada, yada, yada. If it's coming to you, if it's being offered, right? Not only by the universe, but meaning like the people in the 3D are offering it to you, right? This is your time to take it. This is your time to do it. Why? Because we have the 10 of Pentacles, okay? This is everything you fucking want. To me, as a reader, this is the happiest card in the deck, not the Sun. This is the happiest card. Why? Because the 10 of Pentacles is something you could touch, you could grab, you can taste it, touch it, smell it, hear it. Like, it's tangible, it's physical, and it's at the very end. Okay, this is like having everything you want. Not only not only the physical, but the spiritual as well. Okay, this is like having not only the money, not only the success, the business, but also the love, also the family, also a great circle of friends, or whatever it is that you've been requesting. This is that energy. Okay, Spirit is trying to prepare us. I'm trying to tell you, the Four of Wands is at the bottom. This is why I got us so excited, because the Four of Wands, that's the celebration energy. Okay, this is Spirit's indication letting you know you're being supported. Okay, some of you, like I said, have a new job offer coming, a new opportunity, a new way to make money. For some of you, it's just a new stream of income, however that turns out for you. Okay, but it's putting you in position to show you how supported you really are. Okay, some of you have been really questioning the universe, feeling like the universe doesn't have your back. It's like you're about to see just how supported you really are, just how loved you really are. You're about to have more reasons than a few to celebrate. Okay, so Spirit's trying to tell you, you need to prepare yourself. Okay, prepare yourself to take action, because when opportunity presents itself, it's not one, it doesn't feel like it's one that you're going to be able to just sit on and be like, oh, I'll think about it, or I'll respond to that later, I'll get to that another day. It's like, no, you need to act on this shit now. You see what I'm saying? It's like the opportunity is ripe, it's here, it's ready, it's hot. Okay, act on it. If you want it, you need to take it, you need to jump on it like now. Okay, take it as it applies. But for some of you, that's why this energy is so fucking important, because you don't realize what's on the other side of, you know what I'm saying, whatever it is that you've asked for, right? It's like, prepare yourself. Prepare. Okay, get ready to take the leap. Okay, it's because it really feels like it's going to be uncomfortable. Okay, and that's why Spirit is saying, right, whatever you've been thinking about, okay, you're about to have an opportunity to take the leap on that, to jump into that, to do that thing, whatever that is. Okay, it's like something you've been asking for, collective. It's aligning to you as we speak. Okay, you just need to continue to be open to receive. Okay, be here and now, be in the present moment, with the knowingness that all your needs are being met. Okay, you are being taken care of. Okay, the universe is providing all that you need and then some. Okay, you don't need to worry about when and how and why and all the logistics, included. You don't need to do none of that. Okay, this is Spirit's indication letting you know you just need to quit hiding. It's just like literally the same as coming down from your room to come to the front door and receive your package from Amazon. Okay, it's like that. It's like there's nothing else required for you to do but come down and say, open the door and say, yes, this belongs to me. Yes, you got the right house. You see what I'm saying? It's like that. So I just want you to know, collective, you're so supported. Okay, it's like the healing you've been doing, it's working. Okay, you're about to be so fucking happy. Like I said, so many reasons to celebrate. Things you've been asking is coming in. That's why things are ending right now. Some of you may be feeling like you've had to burn everything from your past to the ground, everything from an old version of you to the ground. Metaphorically speaking, some of you physically, I don't mean like pyro shit, I don't mean that, but I'm saying like real life tower moments, real life letting things end, right? However that looks, metaphorically speaking, it could feel like it's burning shit to the ground, right? Because we have, like I said, the 10 of Pentacles, 4 of Wands, the Page of Chalices, which is the Page of Cups. Okay, so this could definitely be new love as well, right? 4 of Swords energy, that's healing, things you've been thinking about, meditating on. Okay, with the 10 of Cups and the 3 of Wands, you see what I'm saying? This is like so much that is shifting in such a beautiful and positive way. I feel like some of you have just been hearing it for so long, to where you really kind of just feeling like, I've been hearing this shit for so long and I haven't seen it, to where I don't believe it. That's where some of you are at. But Spirit is about to show you. Spirit is about to show you something different. I'm trying to tell you, Spirit is about to show you something different, collective. So just be ready. It's in the cards. All the messages, that Spirit has given me, I have given. So do what you will with it. Take it as it applies. If it don't resonate, if it doesn't feel, sit well in your spirit, leave it for who it's meant for. It's that simple. So I love y'all to life. Have a wonderful rest of your day, night, wherever you are, whenever you may be seeing this. Like I said, feel free to reach out for any personal readings, any of my other offerings, um, as well as digital products, digital assets, courses, things like that that I, offer and I'm affiliated with. All those you can find, as well as t-shirts, designs, things like that you can find on my Beacons page. So yeah, I love y'all so much. Till next time, howdy.